What's good, y'all? It's your boy Danza. Just one of the many faces of the machine known as the Danza Project. Please do me a favor if you rock with us. Hit that like button, subscribe button, and turn those notifications on. We appreciate you. Salute. Say this a few times because the thing about entertainment in general, right? Like you have because of this day and age, streaming platforms and just streaming platforms with movies, shows, music, you have the opportunity to like enjoy plenty of different artists.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I sit here on this set and I have the opportunity to speak to dope individuals all the time. More often than not, we get to pick some pretty good guests. And then there's the guests like, I know this guy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's what we have here today with Rotimi.
Hey. My brother.
So like I'm just a huge fan of the music.
Thank you.
And I didn't believe it was you because I'm watching Power at first. Yeah. And I'm like, there's no way a killer makes this music. There's no way Dre does this thing. It's impossible. How does this happen? But how you feeling today, my brother?
I'm blessed, man. Yo, I'm a fan of y'all too, man. Y'all
I appreciate it.
Y'all conduct yourself with class, and it's really great content.
That's dope. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll take that any day because it's a lot of content that, listen, we don't benefit from not being as salacious as some of the other shows out there, I'll say, but we take pride in the quality of the work that we put out.
And because you're not like that, you get long-term relationships. So I'll feel comfortable saying, you know what, they ain't on bullshit. So I'll come back.
Around.
6-7 months because this is my guys. Those salacious ones sometimes it'd be like, I'm cool. We did it.
Do we have to?
So it longevity is
absolutely. And something we preach is the Danza Project is not a podcast; it's a network. Because we have like I'm a guy that likes getting money.
Of course,
you know what I'm saying. So for me, it's all about like. Shit, if I find an opportunity to make money with you in the future, like I said, when I was thinking about getting married, you know what I mean? I would have paid you to come sing at the wedding. I don't know if I like that.
You don't want to do that no more?
Nah.
I get it.
They gotta, hopefully Trump changes the rules. You know what I'm saying? You can't take none of his. He can't take none of yours. And then I'll get married once a week.
Right.
You know? But shout out to you. You got a lot of dope shit going on.
Yes, sir.
You're out here for Art Basil weekend in Miami, which is a beautiful thing. It's busy.
Yeah, it's busy, bro. We've done 11 events in 2 days.
Damn.
We've had 3 pop-up shows. My voice is going. Like, for me, being out here, bro, is one of those things that, like, when I was in college or even when I was just working, it's like, man, I want to go there, man. Everybody keep talking about it.
Miami.
In Miami, the women, the this and that. And I'm like, I want to do it. And I remember just being like, nah, I ain't going to go until they pay me to be there. You know what I mean? And so now it took a little longer than I thought, but we here now. You know what I mean?
Let me get that.
Let me feel that, from that perspective. So, I give myself those type of goals to just try to reach it and then, just self-motivate.
Yeah, earlier on, if you would have came to Miami earlier, it's like, there's a meeting in my bed, in my bed. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But you got, like, so right now at this time, what is it that you're working on? You got an album on the way?
So a lot, bro. I'm working on a couple things, bro. So the album literally just dropped. And we did something that hasn't been done before. It's the album's called In My Heart, In My Veins, right? And it's a double album. So it's 9 songs R&B, 9 songs Afrobeats. And what I started realizing, bro, is that like I'd have a big record like In My Bed, right? And then people who love me for R&B are like, where's the R&B style? Then we'll make a I Do, the wedding record you're talking about. Then they'll be like, but we love this, but then my Afrobeat style is like, where's this? So it's
Forget
like,
about us.
God, and I thank God for that issue. However, it's like, let's just give them everything at once and just do a dual project, 9 records, and create our own lane, And so when people ask me, what does In My Heart mean in my veins? It's like, in my heart, I love R&B, right? So I grew up listening to Carl Thomas, Joe, Michael Jackson, but in my veins is the Nigerian blood. You get what I'm saying? So it's like in my heart, in my veins. So when you feel that, it's like, okay, what side you like? You like the R&B side? You can stay there if you want that. You good. You got a whole album over here. If you want the Afro side, okay, come on this side. And if you're curious about that, go over there. So we were just trying to just do something innovative and something that's special, you know?
Next, you got to do the book In My Head.
Hey. Or that could be something for therapy.
However,
you know what I'm saying?
The world is yours.
Come on, brother. Come on. I like this.
Yeah, there you go. See that?
I love it.
Executive producer.
Hello.
Come on.
That's a pre-one.
Yes, sir.
So what we like for our fans,
Yeah.
you know, because this is a new group of fans,
Okay.
right? That'll be watching you, and I want to take them back.
Okay, talk to
Right.
me.
So how did this all begin for you? And when I say that, because it's been answered wrong a couple times, right?
Yeah.
Is you're a singer, you're actor. Yeah, I believe you do other things in your life, right?
Absolutely.
When the upbringing in the household,
Yeah.
what happened that this became you today?
Oh, that's a great question, bro. So first generation Nigerian. So that household was structure. It was, you can't aim for nothing less than perfect. It's militant. It's, you gotta be on point at all times, you know, because
when you leave this house, you represent this name.
you represent this name, yo. Like, and I feel like all foreigners, you know, or immigrant families kind of have that mindset where it's like, you got to go crazy. So also my mom was a prayer warrior. So when she was pregnant with me, she had a dream that Bob Marley had come to her and said, your son will finish my legacy. So she didn't know what that meant. Is it an artist? Is it a politician? Because Bob Marley was a politician in his own right. So at 3 years old, my mom just started hearing me sing, and she was like, okay, I have to nurture this gift. So when that started happening, it was like, okay, yo, like, she became my first manager. I'm from Jersey, so she had me in the hood in Newark, East Orange, you know, Hillside, everything, Irvington. So like, I was starting from then, knowing that this is what I was going to do. And as I got older, it became wedding singing, ironically. I was a Nigerian wedding singer for all the Nigerian weddings.
Oh, that's tight.
You know, in Connecticut.
All right, maybe I'll get married.
That's tight.
You know, Philadelphia, Connecticut. So it was always just performing for me, you know, at 4 or 5 years old, you know, and so that's what it grew into. Then just the backstory of my mom was like, look, you're not just this. So you're going to study how to be a violin player, piano player. You're going to do the children gospel choir. You're going to play basketball, play football, play soccer. You're going to do everything. And, you know, I'm an only child. So she was like, I want to feel like I got 9 kids, you know? Wow. So I was
no pressure.
Yeah, that's right. I was feeling that, you know? And so, but it sharpened me, you know? So you can either fold or you can either live up to what's being asked of you. And so that mentality from young was always who I was, and always just grounded to, you know, who I am still today. So that's where it started from a praying mom, a really strict and supportive father, and a home that was based on Nigerian ethics. You know?
Shout out to the children of immigrants.
Yeah, bro. Where you from?
So a little bit of everything.
Okay.
Both my parents are mixed.
Okay.
So my mom is Indian and Chinese.
Wow.
My dad is German and Cuban.
Wow.
By way of Spain. Them and their parents are both born and raised in Jamaica.
Wow.
So we are Jamaican. Jamaican flag, music, culture, Bob Marley.
First generation?
I cried when I found out Bob Marley was dead. I said, Mom, when can I go to a Bob Marley concert? She was like, sit down. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah.
I cried, and I didn't even know why I was crying. I was just emotional. It was something that I was really serious about at a young age. I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. But you said, when did they come?
Yeah.
The 90s.
Okay.
It was
So you first gen?
Yeah.
You born here?
I don't think about it like that, but yeah,
bro.
you're right.
Yeah.
That's why I don't have to speak Chinese,
You see?
Spanish.
You see?
I barely speak patois.
It's different.
Yeah,
it's different.
I grew up on the side.
I didn't even really grow up on American food. It was fufu, gari, egusi soup, jollof rice, like moi moi. Like, so when people be like, "Yo, do you like, hamburger helper?" Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
What is this?
Not gonna lie, I used to eat a lot of hamburger helper. Right? Like it was after all the rice and beans.
Yeah. Where you from, bro?
I'm Puerto Rican and Dominican.
Okay, you first generation?
Yeah, I was born in Buffalo, New York. My family came right out of my mom Puerto Rico, my dad Dominican. Yep. So
it's just different, but it's a different energy. You know, when you from something else.
It's very different, and I wouldn't trade it for the world because some of the people that are born here don't have the need to strive for things.
Absolutely.
Like, you're born in a place where it's a sidewalk in every city.
Yeah.
You go to Jamaica. This was a profound thought for me. Okay, we went down to Jamaica and I saw a 3-walled building. I said, "This is not where we come from. We don't have that." And I'll never forget. It was on the side of the road. It was a shack. It was 3 walls. I said, "This is different." And then I came back and I'm walking down the street. I said, "We got sidewalks." I swear to God, it was like the shit you take for granted.
Yeah.
There's a comedian. He said, America really do got some balls. He said, "You got people in the desert." People in these vast places that don't have resources, let alone water. So you come to America, we're throwing water in the air. You ever drive past a water fountain? We got water in every gym, every building. If CVS, there's water. He's like, we literally shoot it in the air. Like, what type of people are we? We ship it from Fiji.
Yeah.
And we got all this water. Like, he's just like trying to put it into perspective.
Wow.
Certain things that you take for granted. But growing up, being first generation, having children, second generation.
Yeah.
How are you? Is it a priority for you to instill the origins into your children as well?
Absolutely, but also be aware of the times have changed. You know what I mean? We're dealing with different demons now. You know what I'm saying? We're in a social media. They're born into social media. They're born into tablets. We were growing up in a space where we was playing outside. It was
the last.
You know what I'm saying? We were the last ones to do that. It was
before the internet.
Yeah, bro. It was punishment if your mom said stay in.
You seeing everybody outside.
Yeah, you seen everybody outside. Like, I can't ride my bike. Like, you know what I'm saying? Can't meet at the football field. So knowing that the times is changing, I take the best parts of both my parents and throw away the things that didn't work for me and bring those things that I know worked for myself and then adjust to my children and how they feel about it with the times now being what it is. You know what I mean? So it's kind of just continuing to sharpen it so they carry on the things that I know doesn't matter what generation you born in. Integrity, kindness, work ethic, you know what I mean? Spirituality, the follow through with what you're doing, and they're babies, but but starting to get that, like, no, you say you're not going to do that, so don't do that, and it's as simple as that. But little things that you just instill into children, you know. So take what I learned, throw away the bad, and keep sharpening,
keep rolling.
Yeah.
How old are they?
So my son is 3, and my daughter is 2. She just is about to turn 2. So yeah, but it's a different thing too because my 3-year-old is doing 3rd grade reading. So he's in preschool, but he's doing 3rd grade reading and math. So we have to take him out of school and homeschool him, but keep him playing with the kids for his, motor skills and just, but like we're dealing with a genius, you know what I mean? So it's like, okay, now with that being said, let's figure this out and make things work. So it's just adapting, parenting is adapting and so it's been beautiful. And my daughter's just as fast, if not faster, because she's following her older brother. So
so I'm pretty similar. I got a 2-year-old boy. He's about to be 3.
Nice.
And then I got a 11-month-old daughter.
Smart, bro.
Right. So it's the other day I was dealing with this, right? Because it's interesting when there's kids, like when if you were missing out on something, you try to give that to your children, and then you try to balance everything out. It's a little tough. The other day, I told my son I was taking him to the gym with me because they got the daycare in the gym.
Nice.
And he goes, he grabs my book bag, and then his mom said, "Well, it's time for him to take a nap."
Yeah.
So I'm like, like I don't know if I want to do that because he's sitting there. She goes to take him for a nap, and he's like, "No, gym." You know, but I remember those times when I was a child and I always wanted to go do something with my dad and my dad wouldn't take me.
Yeah.
And I know I wasn't 2 at the time.
Yeah.
But in my head, I'm like, just 2.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I can't because I know what he's feeling. It's like he needs to take a nap.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
I was just struggling. I'm sitting outside of the door with my book bag. I'm like, he handed me the book bag.
Yeah.
Like he handed me the book bag and his diaper bag. Like
let's go.
We out of here. You know what I mean? Is that get mom? We out of here. You know what I'm saying? So like it's tough because like I don't want to go too crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm like, no, I have to take him because of this. Get his nap. You know what I mean? But it's tough. It's tough navigating.
It's tough, bro. You know, and like I do a lot of prayer, bro. I pray for discernment. You know, I pray to be given the right things to say to my kid. You know, I surrender a lot. So I'm like, Lord, I don't know, man. I want him to do this, but what do I need? And then usually it just happens and helps me decide, you know. So that's it. That helps a lot.
Now doing this, being outside a lot.
Yeah.
How does that like impact you and your relationship with your kids? Like, how does that? Do you bring them around a lot with you? How does it feel being away from them?
Well, to be away from them is like it's tough at times, you know. But I also know what I'm doing, and I also know what I gotta do, you know. So I don't harp on that. But the way I balance it is that when I'm home, the only people that can actually get to me is Punch. You get what I'm saying? Like my phone is literally done. Nobody, if it's important, it'll wait, you know? And so I made it to where, and plus with my girl, like, you know, she needs time. So it's not I hate saying it, but actor, singer, entrepreneur, father, and a partner, these are 5 jobs. You got to work at your relationship. You got to work at being a father.
Show up.
You get what I'm saying? So like really just pour into my kids. Like everything is them when I'm home, you know, and then FaceTime is a helper for sure.
Of course, yeah.
But you know, the hardest thing for me, dog, is just trying to find time for myself and my mind and my mental, you know. And so that's been the struggle of balancing all of this. Cause even when we're on the road, these, you know, Punch is my brother, Just is my brother, but we're working, you know. And so
at the
end of the day, we're working. So the conversations we're having are jokes and things, but it's a work thing, you know. And so it's always just trying to balance what we can do to keep some human feel to like yourself. You don't completely lose yourself, and that's been the hardest thing to balance.
I saw it was a post about this guy. He was gardening while he was talking, and he was talking about how he went to go speak to a therapist.
Yeah,
he's like, and don't get me wrong, life is great. I'm very successful. I make good money. I have a beautiful family, a beautiful home. He's like showing you. Yeah. He said, but when he spoke to the therapist, he was telling him all these things. He said, I just don't feel like I'm fulfilled yet. Like there's something missing and there's nothing wrong. Yeah. He said, but I still felt the need to go to a therapist. The therapist said, his story was, man, I'm a great father. Yeah. I'm a great business owner. I'm a wonderful husband to my wife. I'm a wonderful brother to my family and son to my parents. And the therapist sat and looked at him and said, those are all things that you are for other people. Okay, real. You're not being that. Who are you for you?
Yes.
Who are you to you?
Yes.
And I was like damn, like, because I feel the same way. You know, I try hard. I respect my parents, rightfully so. And I really try to be a good son, and I try to be a good co-host, and I try to be a good business partner, and that. But when all that shit goes away, when you're at home alone, and who am I to me for me? Yeah. You know, so that's definitely a big part of it, man.
And a cool thing that my dad always said to me, he was like, yo, just always remember to be good to yourself. And I didn't know what that meant growing up. Like, be good to myself. I am good to myself. I'm clean. I look good. I'm fresh. Dad, like, this guy, you just bought me some Jordans. I'm good to myself. I saved up for this, you know? And so like, but then as I'm getting older, it's like, yo, you have to be good, to be kind to yourself. Take that time to yourself to think, to be still, to breathe, to be kind to yourself, to say, yo, I'm doing a good job. As an ambitious man, you're like, go. And you just, sometimes you be like, I'm not doing enough. And it's I'm not enough. Right. I'm not enough is a big thing we face as men. We're like, I'm not doing enough. And it's like, hold on. Oh, I did this. So what I did was I started just really practicing gratitude, bro.
Okay.
So I would just wake up and just say, thank you for this. And you start realizing like, yo, I'm blessed. I got 25 things before I put my foot on the floor. I got 25 lit things, even simple things.
Let's go.
And so for that, it was like, that changed my whole mindset of, okay, be good to yourself. So
if you can learn how to talk to yourself like that, you will feel it physically.
Absolutely.
Like as you're working that out, I am that. You know what? Let's go. All right, let's start the day. Let's keep it rocking. And you buy yourself another 30 days where you can fight and show up and
bro. Like you said, the gym earlier. I'm like, and speaking on this, like sometimes I don't have to. 75% of the time, I don't work out to music. I spend that time in thought or in just gratitude. You get what I'm saying? And like that just tunes me up. Like, thank you for this. Thank you for this. And you just realize you just said 100 things you're grateful for throughout a workout. You know?
I listen to music.
Yeah.
Like, There's a meeting in
that one. That's good. That's smart. That's a smart guy. You know, forget what I said. Forget what I said. That's the best thing to do.
Stream, rotate.
Yes.
But I just love music so much. So like for the most part, like I'll walk in the gym, and if I don't have my headphones, I will walk out the gym, go back home, and get my damn headphones.
No,
like there's times I could do it, but I can't rock with the gym music. Like
you work out with other people, like not other people, like in the gym.
In the
like,
gym, yeah.
Oh, okay, then you need it. You need to lock in because it's too much.
If I have my own gym, I'm cool with it. Like, but still, I love music. You know what I mean? I'm definitely in love with music. Talking about music, you're also in acting.
Yes, sir.
And which one do you enjoy more?
Ooh,
great debate.
The great debate, right? Okay, I'm gonna answer, and it's not to curve the question, but I love creating equally, right? I love just to create. I love making something that didn't exist. I love the reaction of what people feel after something I've created. That's beautiful to me, you know? Figuring out how these lines work and figuring out how to work this side of the stage are fulfilling. However, in terms, if I had to pick one, it would definitely music. Because for me, that's what I grew up on. That's what I was destined for my calling to do. And so acting came about 10 years from now. It wasn't even something that I wanted to do. I was just I was a broke musician out of college, just trying to get some money so I could fund my music. Right. You get what I'm saying? Get some placement. So I was trying to get a commercial, like just something, a model or something. I don't know, something, just go down to the city. And I'll explain that story. But like, to answer your question, definitely music, because if you listen, you can listen to your favorite song 5,000 times, but you can watch your favorite movie maybe 3, 4. You know, you can go to the movies and say, "Oh, I love that," but you're not gonna go watch it again in the movie. But if you go to a show, yo, I saw him perform at New York. Yo, you want to go see him perform in LA? It's a different connection with people, you know, and I love that as well.
It depends on the movie, because sometimes you do have to watch them 1,000 times. Because boss baby, boss baby, boss baby. Like my son said, that boss baby, boss baby. You know what I mean? What is your creative approach when prepping for acting jobs opposed to music?
So the creative approach for acting is always try to create who I think this person is, right? So I create a backstory of what I think his life was like. I don't just take the words of just, oh, this is what Jim is saying. I say, why would Jim say this? How does Jim even walk? What does Jim do? How would Jim talk to a woman? How would Jim, you know, is he brother and sister? Is he the only child? Or is he like I create a whole story, because these are humans that you got to portray, you know? And so I think a lot of actors make the mistake of enjoying the moment of what they're seeing. I create, you know, and I learned that from Kelsey Grammer, you know, for being.
I was going to ask you what it was like working with Kelsey Grammer.
Girl, there's so many stories, but we got time, so I'm going to break it through. But like, in terms of that, like working with him, we'll talk about that. That's a whole process. But in terms of like breaking down the character, and then also how does he move his eyes? What's his motive? Is he antisocial? Is he social? And I discover all these things from reading the script. But at the same time, like I create it to give him more of an edge, or take more of an edge off. So. It's doing the work. I write it out. I say what I think, and then you know, and usually it's been successful doing that.
I would imagine music is also a little bit faster. For gratification, I guess. Like, you can kind of do it with less people.
Yeah,
like you could be dolo and still be working on your stuff, and then You know, it doesn't take a whole production and set and time, and you got to wait on this and bop, 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 bop. You kind of just do it on the move in your own time on a flight.
Absolutely. But music is what, you know, what I feel, you know, so it's instant. Like, you get a beat, me and Punch would talk about, dang, what conversation are we trying to bring, you know, and then we'll talk it out. What did you go through, bro? What did you go through? Okay, this is the thing. And then melodies, one of my biggest gifts as a musician is that I can spit out 1,000 melodies in 17 seconds, yo. Like, something crazy. It's really dope. Like, so what's my gift? And then working with Punch, who's also an incredible writer, you know, we also go back and forth with ideas of how to make this whole story and truth to it. So it's we'll write and make a record in 30, 40 minutes, you know, and it'd be done, you know? So everything is just creative. I love, bro. I just love that feeling.
And Punch making the beats too?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nah. So we got on the album. So on the album, In My Heart, In My Veins, we got incredible producer named EJ. We got Amadeus. We got SK. We got this artist, this really, really dope producer named Kaida. And I'm tripping. Nif Keys, Necktunes. So it's a well-rounded project because we got classic R&B producers and then global African sound and you know, authentic, you know, producers for Afrobeats.
That's fire.
I got a question.
And then also the one that gave me your favorite record, Harmony Samuels, is like the greatest match for me because we've made so many hits together. We got 2 platinum records, and so his record didn't even almost make it because of just timing and everything. So shout out to Harmony because he's another one that's just one of the legends out here. Yeah,
there's a lot of records I like. In My Bed, I don't know if In My Bed is my favorite one, but I could go down through a list of them. But like I said, I think that one of my kids might have been, you know, that's how they got here. So that's love. There's a possibility. But nah. So you do have a lot of, like, the music is beautiful.
Thank you. Bro.
Right, like it's a vibe. Again, I found out that Kato hated it the other day, right? Because I listen to music at all times. Like I sleep to music.
No, that's the thing. I do too. I had an ex that used to complain, like, you got to listen to music in every room. If I go in the shower, I'm taking the speaker with me. If I come out, if I'm in the car, if I'm at the gym, if I'm here, I'm
what is
listening
that?
to music.
I'm the opposite. I like silence. So what is it about doing that, bro?
Probably because you're doing music. Like I used to make music.
Okay,
like I used to love making music. And then when you know how you hear your record 1,000 straight times, and then for you it's like, I don't know how that record's gonna do. You know what I mean? Like I already heard it a bunch. It's kind of but in this part right here, I didn't get it the way I wanted to. And they're like, yo, chill the fuck out. It's good. You know what I mean? Like it's probably Punch telling you like it's a good record. Chill. You know what I mean? So like maybe that's part of what it is. But I'm just infatuated with music.
That's dope.
I love music. I think I was so infatuated with music as a kid. I thought I would one day become a DJ. But not only that, I specifically remember being in like middle school. It was the coolest thing to know every Wayne lyric. So I'm listening like, what the fuck them up when they come to school? Watch them every lyric word for word. And, you know, you first start going to like all ages clubs. You know, every word to every song. You the man. You know, so I think that might have been part of it too. It was a cool thing to know all the songs.
Carter 3.
Couldn't get enough.
That's how you know the difference in age. Because for me, it was writing to Pac. Like I used to actually write Pac's lyrics in a composition notebook because didn't have a cell phone. You know what I mean? So like I used to write it down in a notebook and you know, going back and listening to those songs now, I'm like, oh, that's what he said. I didn't think I spelled come, COME. You know,
right?
Yeah. Mom, come for me. So like it's crazy because you really don't even understand the words and everything. Like when you're younger, than you hear it when you're older. I said that about like one of the songs, "Greatest Love of All." I thought "Greatest Love of All" when I was a kid was just, you know, the greatest love of all, like whoever your spouse is, and then it's talking about self-love, and I'm like, that, you know, when you find out, you get a little bit older, you're like, oh, this is what it means, and it just has so much more meaning to it. That's why music is so amazing. Now, having the fans receive everything, what feels better, right? Having the #1 show on television or having your record on the Billboard?
Ooh. Let me answer that, brother, because we done did that. We done lived that motherfucker. Yo, I remember, bro, this is the illest thing, man. This is when I had to thank God. I literally we were finishing up like one of the last episodes, and we were of season 5, and on Power we were holding hands and like, man, this was a great situation, man. We just got #1 again, and da 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 da. Then I look at my phone, and then my manager at the time is like, bro, you got the #1 R&B album right now, bro.
Squeezing everybody's hand extra hard. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, this is great. So I was happy. It's like #1 with Power. I was like, yeah, this is great, man. Good job, Jim. Yeah, good Billy. Yeah, good stuff, bro. So I got the text. I said, oh, yeah, everybody, good job. You know what I'm saying? So like, I felt that energy of the music. And again, that's another reason why I would say music, because I'm hearing #1 group effort for sure. This is like, yo, this is the dream, you know? And so when that happened, it was like life-changing for sure.
All the way from Mom getting the vision with Bob Marley.
Yes.
To that.
Yes, bro. #1, anything's a blessing, but to have that, you know, and then also the same time, like, I know 0.0001% of people have ever experienced that, you know? So I take that to heart, that I'll never forget that feeling.
Were you able to enjoy it though? Because the reason why I ask is because, you know, imposter syndrome is a real thing. And sometimes when you reach the top of the top, you start thinking like, can I keep this up?
Yeah.
Is this going to last forever?
Yeah.
When's the next downfall? Type deal. You know, it's hard for you to kind of sit around and enjoy how far you've come and all that you've done.
Well, I think a lot of the way I was raised, I didn't know for a long time like what really good meant, like being excellent meant, because it was always the bar was always, yeah, you got 91, but you could have done 95. So I had to do a lot of self-awareness and self-healing. Like, bro, you got #1, bro. Where else can you go? Like, accept this, enjoy this, bro. And then I fought the imposter syndrome, not imposter syndrome, because I knew I belonged there. It's just, I fought the ambitious role feeling, like, okay, we got to stay there. We got to this, we got to that. We got to don't lose it, figure it out. And I fought that a lot, because it was like, man, just enjoy this, dude. Like, this is a milestone. Like, you don't want to get numb to this feeling. This is what you did it for. You dreamt of this. You didn't even fathom dreaming of having #1 here and here. You got both, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, focus. This is the moment. This is, you know. And so I had to fight that. And as I've gotten older, I'm getting way better with just accepting that this is great. Progress is great every day.
Let's go. Yeah, I was going to ask you that, because I mean,
you talk.
Yeah.
He was trying to Orlando off cam.
You want to ask? What you want to know, Jesus?
But not only did you have so much success, you had it to be in like a real unique era. You know what I'm saying? Like the tail end of the height of BET.
Yeah.
You was doing the New Year specials, all that shit. And then on top of that, the records you selling it at the time before streaming is what it is now. So your units is not what niggas are selling now. You know what I'm saying? So I was curious. I'm like, bro, like, you like a young OG. Like, you've been here and you've seen all the eras. So when you look back on it, like when you release your music now, like, what's your perspective? Because it must be like a little deeper than just like the average artist that's coming out now.
I think it's a great question, bro. That was phenomenal.
Thank you. When I do
get
talk,
this man a cam.
Jesus. You know, I really feel like my perspective is the thing that has lasted 10 years of just being in the industry is just great product, right? Messiness and all those things come and go. When you make time to make an incredible product and take the time to make something that is timeless, it doesn't matter anything. But then also I understand that it's a social media time. So you have to allow experts to be experts. So having somebody that knows the creative directing of how to portray what you want matters. You know, you got to adapt to the time of what's going on. So our thing was, let's take, like we took 2 years to make this new album. It wasn't rushing anything. So we're like, okay, having that kind of mindset is, we're going to make 18 records that it's it's undeniably great product, you know? Then we're like, okay, let's get innovative with the time. Let's shoot a music video for every song, you know? Then also let's say, you know what? Let's not put out every video the same day. Let's say, you know what? Let's give every song a chance to be a single and put every new music video out every 3-4 weeks. Okay. So now you have a body of work that gets to live for 9 months and feel fresh and feel new. Then it's like, you know what? In this time of the change, everybody goes to do press and all these type of things, and they do this hard press run for 2 weeks, 10 days, and then you don't hear nothing from them after that, right? So it's like, nah, we're gonna take our time. We're gonna spoon feed the people, let them grow with the music, let them understand, let it just fester into a baby being born, because we're gonna take our time, and we've worked so hard that the math ain't math. And if I'm doing 2 years of making something brilliant and I promote it for 2 weeks and then they let it go, I think that's stupid. Yeah. So we're gonna put a year of product and promotion into something and give people a new experience by dropping the videos every 3-4 weeks. So that was us saying, let's just break the mold. Let's go, you know what, let's even go back to how they worked projects in the 90s, right, where they took their time. You know what I'm saying? The rollout was what it was, to make people understand that, you know, damn, I finally connected this record. It took me 3 months, but I keep seeing this guy everywhere. I keep hearing this song everywhere. I keep vibing with this everywhere. And it's just like, you know what? Let's just combat the machine with just taking our time, making great music and giving people great visuals. Like, I directed it and funded all the videos. Okay. The label said, yo, we're going to give you 2 videos, which is great. That's a blessing. The label said, yo, we're going to fund 10 songs, which is great. It's a blessing. But now we was like, no, let's make it a double album. We'll pay for the production and everything for those extra 8. You know what? Nah, let's not two videos is cool. No, let's pay for the 16 other ones. We got it. Right. You know, make it what we want. Fine. You know, and so it's like, yo, we're gonna invest $250,000 or $500,000 into it because we believe it. And so that's why it's like, let's just take our time. There's no rush, man. They're gonna get it. They're gonna get it. The music gonna speak for itself.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now you said that we invested. Did you invest after you gave 50 back his money?
Nah. That's funny. Look, you know the funny, right? Yeah. So you know
that went viral all over the internet. I don't know. Was it a marketing tactic or was it the real deal?
It was both, right? So it was. Okay, this is full circle. Let's start from the top. Yeah. I wanted to get out of my deal because Fifth was like, I didn't understand the Afrobeat wave when it was happening. So I had a record called Love Rhythm, right?
I remember you was really early with the Afrobeats.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that visual came, I seen it. I was like, yo, this dude, he's seen some shit. And then after Black Panther,
took off. Exactly. Wow. So it was a perfect storm. So I'm like, yo, you know what? Like, Fifth, I have a record called Love Rhythm that if it's done right, it could be one of the biggest records in the world. And at the time, no one believed that Afrobeat was going to be what it was. So he was like, yo, bro, you want to go this direction? Let me let you out your deal. But in letting me out of my deal, I had to pay back the money that he's already invested into me as an artist. Right. But it was love. So it wasn't, yo, give me $300,000 cash. It was, yo, the mechanicals. Whatever you make from this idea that you have, pay that back to me and, you know, owe me the $300,000 back to me that way. So whatever you get from Spotify, YouTube, Apple Music, so it's not coming out of your pocket, you know?
And you still get to do
and you still get to do what you do, right, you know? So everyone wins. So then it's time for the project. So we dropped the album and I'm #1 for like 4 days already. You know what I'm saying? But he calls me and he's like, look, I got an idea. We're going to say, you owe me money. I don't like the way your nose look. I'm going to fight you. And what I'm going to do still is mention that you have a #1 album 25 times. So people can be like, wait, he got an album that's #1? Well, let me go hear what this is. Well, and it just took the project to number one for another 2 weeks.
I love it.
Which in turn got him back his money.
What a genius.
You get what I'm saying?
I love
it. It took, so 50 Cent helped blow up Afrobeats. You know what I'm saying? You know, because it was
a story.
Yeah, so that was one of his, marketing genius moments. But at first I was like, he's like, this is what's gonna happen, bro. TMZ's gonna call you tomorrow. This is what you say. I said, all right, yes, sir. I got you. You know what I mean? So it was lit.
We had the opportunity to meet him. I went over to Shreveport, Louisiana when he had the
lit.
50 and Friends.
Yeah, 50 and Friends, yeah.
That was amazing, just being there and just seeing like the way he operates. Because I went out there with Tony Yayo and Uncle Murda.
A word.
And just seeing the way he operates was incredible. Because it's a movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it was such a huge success. They were actually talking about the 4 days he was there was no crime. Wow. None.
Yeah, he brought money to that city, boy.
Yeah, and he also flew in 1,000 strippers, so everybody was like, you know what? We don't got no reason to fight. The most beautiful women just landed, you know.
I love it.
But let me tell you something, man. That man knows how to make he knows how to make shit pop.
Yeah.
Word,
yeah. He's a brilliant guy, man. You know, being able to work around him for 7 years, changed my mind altered my mind and thinking bigger than what I even can possibly think, by saying, there's no limits to being a businessman. There's no limits to being an artist. There's no limits being an actor. There's no limit being a director, producer. Bro, you can do everything you want. And you have the gift to do it. So don't hold yourself back and then trust your instincts. So him giving me them jewels, it was like, oh yeah, there's no look, there's no holding back.
It helps to see it.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that you were once scared to tell him that you were an artist.
Yeah. So when I first got there on Power, if you remember, the Dre and Kanan character were like this, like that's who I started a lot with, So for the first 2-3 months, I was like, okay. So when I first got there, we were sitting in the car for one of our scenes, and he literally, somebody came over to him and was like, yo, man, check out my mixtape. He literally took the mixtape and just like, yeah, all right, cool. I said, oh, no. I can't do that to myself. No. So at that moment, bro, I was like, yeah, he got to find out that I'm lit some other way. Like he gonna hear it.
I gotta inception him somehow.
Yeah, you gotta hear this on the radio or something. I'm not going to this, man. Nah, we gonna figure this out. So what ended up happening, that was literally like that. So I was like, what ended up happening was, and this is God's moments, bro. I have a little break. I'm filming season 2, so nobody knows who I am yet, right? So I'm filming season 2 of Power. So this is when Snapchat had just started. So these producers reached out to me. They were like, yo, can you come work? I was like, cool, I'm finally free. Let's do it. I go to the session. They're like, yo, we just won a beat battle on Snapchat. This executive from a label is coming to get some beats for the artist that he works with. Do you mind? I'm like, nah, cool. Tell him to come. Cool. The guy comes in and he's like, yo, whose record? This is my song playing in the studio. He's like, oh, whose record is this? I'm like, oh man, this is my stuff. He was like, yo, this record is hard. Yo, like, tell me about yourself. He's like, oh, I'm here from New York.
I'm actually filming.
I'm filming a show called Power. He was like, what? What character are you? I said, this new character named Dre. He was like, bro, I run G Unit Records.
Oh, you don't say.
I said, what? He was like, wait, so you're Dre that 50 says he's been working with? I'm like, yeah. He was like, you do music? He was like, yeah. I was like, bruh, this is crazy. Does he know you do music? I said, oh, no, he don't do it. No, bro, I don't. No. He said, yo, come to G Unit tomorrow. Like, I want to hear more music. I said, all right, cool, bro. So my meeting was at 1 p.m. But what ended up happening was I'm coming from Brooklyn and I get there at 2, so I'm late. But when you go to these listening sessions, usually it's about 30 minutes long, right? So I would have been out by 1:30. I get there at 2, 50 comes in at 2:10. So again, fate has me there. So he's like, yo, Ro, what are you doing here? I'm like, yo, Tony G told me to pull up. Yo, he just said, why? Why you tell you to pull up? Oh, Tony's like, yo, his music is incredible, bro. You do music?
Let's go.
No, I don't. So he's like, yeah, you do music? I'm like, yeah, bro. He's like, this song is fire. So when 50 loves something, he'll play it 30 times. Ooh. So it's a record I had called Lotto. So he played it and he was like, I'm going to jump on this. And you know what? Let's do a record deal. And I said, oh. So that's how it happened, man. That's how it happened.
And then he fired G-Unit the next day?
And then he got rid of G-Unit. Stop. About the staff. About a month later. And Lotto was going nuts, bro. And then he just got rid of everything. He wanted a new situation. And then we just didn't push the record the way it needed to go. But it was an incredible situation, bro.
Talk about a shoe-in.
What? It was... It was just, again, it could have been any exec from anywhere that came into that studio that day, you know, but it happened to be the one that I'm working with. You know,
on your path, man.
Did you tell him like immediately after, like, yo, here's why I couldn't tell you?
He did. So he was like, yo, why didn't you tell me? I was like, bro, I saw how you threw the mixtape out 3 months ago. He started dying. I said, I'll never do that. Hell no, nigga. No, you're going to find out the way you found out.
Yeah. You know? So I'm just glad you fucking with it, man.
I'm just glad you fucking with it.
Yeah, no, that's dope. It is like, it's tough because when I was out there in Louisiana with them, people were walking up to Tony Ayo and Uncle Murda, and like it was. I know some of these people are fans of me, but I'm an honest guy. It was annoying. Yeah, right. Like seeing people like I'm sitting there, we're filming, and like, yo, could I play you my song? They had the little pill. And they start. and the crazy thing is one of these dudes handed Yayo the pill for him to hold, and Yayo's such a nice dude that he's just holding it. Yeah,
he's over here like this, right?
Yeah. No, so the dude's rapping this, but the beat is playing, and I'm like, nah. I'm like, you can't hold this. What are we doing here? Right. You know what I mean? I'm like, cut this shit out. You know what I mean? Like, at Nova, cut this shit off video. We're not playing this guy's music. He's taking our video time. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. You know? I'm sorry, bro. I'm just saying. I'm being honest with you how it works. What you do a lot, and you've been successful at a lot. What impact do you want to leave on the culture?
Which culture?
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, absolutely. I think globally, bro, like just to know that I was this generation's Harry Belafonte. You know, I was this generation Renaissance man. I was. You know, we bridged the gap from Africa to America to Africa to the world, you know, that, you know, he loved God. And then he also was in a situation where his music brought people that didn't know that they even would love this type of style, you know? And so I think for me it's just continue to make legendary, timeless music that it impacts people's lives, that people can remember moments of when they hear the music, man. And I feel like we're doing that, you know? And so just to be also known as one of the most talented humans that's ever lived, you know? And so when you have records that touch the spirit, like records like Blessed on my project, or records like Timing on Our Side on a project, or records that like just flow, just are big records, or records like Tomorrow, so for me, it's records that I wrote for men. You know, a lot of men. It's so funny, bro. Like on my project, you never know what's gonna connect. You know, as a musician, I got a record on my project, and it's just me and my guitar player, acoustic, and it was the most like, let's just put it on there type of record. And the response I'm hearing from men that have daughters, and it's called Dear Imani. You know, and it's like, whoa, it's a song that I wrote for my daughter, but it's generally for what men feel about their daughter as they're growing up. And it's like that special record, and the most gangster dude or the most business whatever come up to me and be like, yo, that's my favorite song. And, you know, so you just never know. And so when you have people connect, I think it's just the most beautiful thing. So when everybody listens to Dear Imani or just the whole project, you'll understand, because it's just, music has no bounds, you know?
Now, I had to pull this up because of what you just said, right? This playlist right here says "Let's Talk Business." Right. When I met my baby mother, I that was my approach. I gave her my business card. I said, "Let's talk business." So we created a playlist together. This is a while back.
Oh man,
See that right there?
I see that, bro.
In my bed, and then we scroll up.
Love Rhythm.
Love Rhythm.
Yes, sir.
I promise you, I'm pretty sure one of the kids are here for that. I'm not just saying it. Like, that was the playlist, like every time we had our session.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? The playlist had to go through.
But you know, this project also got, you're going to have about 5 more songs on.
So 5 more children?
Yes. Yes.
Fuck it.
You know, there's a record, you know, called Sexy that's going to be vibey for everybody. There's a record that, you know, called One Night that's going to be vibey, you know what I mean? And then, you know, it's also like records that just speak to the soul, you know? So, yeah. And then also just powerful records that speak to more life and blessings. And, you know, like there's a record, you know, the saying more life, like, you know, I wish you more life. It could be a birthday reference, or it could be, yo, I wish you more love. I wish you more success. We got a record that's just like a Caribbean vibe, but that you want to put Buju Banton on type of energy, you know? And that's just powerful, you know, records that just speak to the soul. So we gave everybody everything. And like the music is global, bro. It's like who else is gonna put up this money on themselves? I bet on myself, you know, and you know, so you know, that's what it is.
That Bestie track crazy too.
Thank you. I didn't even talk about Bestie.
That's
you
what
know
I'm waiting for you to say it. Yeah. That's a big one.
You get what I'm saying?
Not everybody getting that clearance. No sir. That ain't, you know? So that's a big one. I'm surprised you didn't mention it.
Nah, we gonna mention it now. Yeah. So Bestie, you know, what bro's talking about, Bestie's a record that I have which has the Fugees sample. And I went to high school. I went to the same high school as Lauryn Hill, you know, so that's why I would have in my bed the Fugees sample, you know, but it's Anya. But like, I you know, with Bestie, also another Fugees sample. And it was just like, I don't know, just connect to that vibe, man. It was just powerful. And the storytelling, you know, I've lived life. I've had, you know, this woman bring her friend to be besties together, you know. You know what I mean? So for me, it's like making records that connect to the culture, that connect to myself, that, you know, have timeless beats. And then that was the first record that, you know, Punch and I worked on the project. That kind of set the tone of, you know, giving me back my confidence to just want to just make a lot of music again, you know. And that's the record that, you know, started the whole album conversation and got us to get our deal restructured with the label, you know. So like a lot of things just started organically happening, but it was Bestie's another one that's crazy.
That's a big one.
That's a big one.
That
bro.
was gonna go far.
Thank you, bro.
If it hasn't already,
it's going.
It's going.
Yeah, we claim it.
Now mentioning Lauryn Hill, right? Like Lauryn Hill was, you know, I did the Spotify Wrapped. She was my number 2 artist that I listened to in the year 2024. Lauryn Hill's so fire. What are some, like you mentioned, you're in the same high school that she went to, obviously different time periods. What are some artists that influenced you growing up?
Lauryn Hill for sure, because I was able to see somebody who's from the same place impact the world, like straight up. Like I'm watching the world react to someone who lives literally a minute and a half from me, you know, and her family's still there. So like that, you know, Wyclef, because also Wyclef's whole family went to our school, you know what I mean? So I was able to see that happen as well. So shout out to Rose as well. But Carl Thomas, you know, Carl Thomas made me say, yo, I love singers that have really strong voices that can, you know, that are just a very powerful voice. Then I'd say Joe was another one, Genuine, because I love how girls will react to him. So I'm like, oh, I want that type of energy too, you know what I mean? Those are my 4 or 5. Michael Jackson, of course. Michael Jackson from, yes, everything he did as a performer, but what he did visually as an artist, you know, like the movies, the movie aspect of it. I remember watching how he brought life to the words with the movie. So that's what we did with this project, you know, like, so when they have those debates, who's the best ever, it's Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Punch. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of what's going on, man, I genuinely feel that that the way he did the movies, and I wanted us to have that same impact with the videos that you guys are gonna see with the music videos that we're rolling out every 3-4 weeks. So yeah, those 5-6 changed my life, man. And then also Bob Marley on the other side of it, the Caribbean African side. It was Bob Marley. It was Paul Simon. Okay. It was Fela Kuti. Like it was all these people, man. That like Sade, you know. So I've always had dual respect for both sides.
That's dope. Now, obviously, we're talking a lot about music and a lot about acting, but you're also an entrepreneur.
My dog. Yes,
and I don't want to skip past that at all. So talk to us about your journey in entrepreneurship.
So the first thing that I started working on, bro, was during the pandemic. And so I was stressing. I had a hit record that was going berserk, bro. In my bed I couldn't travel. It was a COVID record. So I had to sit and watch all this happening. Like, dang, I can't go to Istanbul. I can't go to Germany. So it started causing a lot of stress, and I started breaking out. So I'm like, dang, when I'm making these face mask characters with butterscotch character that I do. And so I'm using other people's products. So then again, God, bro, I get a call from Andy Hilfiger from the Hilfiger family. And he's like, yeah, man, these videos that you do, these funny face mask videos are epic, man. Do you have your own face mask? Do you have your own skincare line? I said, oh, this is crazy. I said, no, I don't. He was like, okay, well, I work with this company out in Israel. Again, I'm super spiritual. He was like, yes, all the minerals are from the Dead Sea. Yeah. So if you don't know what the Dead Sea is where everyone goes. Like a lot of people who have skin conditions go to swim in the Dead Sea to heal psoriasis, heal eczema, heal skin cancer, all these things. So he was like, man, before we do any type of deal, please, like, come down to Israel. We'll fly you out to Israel. Wow. Test it out, swim in the water, meet the people, and you make your decision.
This isn't, let me send you a test kit.
This has come to Israel. So I'm like, man, God, thank you, man. So we go down to Israel, and then I put my hand into the Dead Sea, and like this whole part that was in the water was exfoliated. Like it was glistening. I said, oh yeah, we have to do it. So I said, this is what we're going to do. We're going to use this. We're going to make it all natural. Don't change no preservatives. And let's make it for both black and brown and any type of skincare color. We're going to make it for both men and women. So we make it for everybody to be able to use it. He was like, what do you want to call it? I was like, let's call it Favor. You know? Okay. Let's call it Favor.
Like
you know?
That.
And so it's FAVR, you know?
Tough. Got a luxury touch to it.
Luxury touch, spiritual, lifestyle,
like
giving back, you know, sexy vibes. So it's like, call it Favor. And we made it. They were like, what colors do you want? I said, I want royalty. So it's the royal green, you know, and so we put that together, and now it's booming, you know, and like seeing the testimonies of the people that are using it, like it got me right. Before we did anything, me and wifey used it for 2-3 weeks as the guinea pigs, and it cleared up everything that I had on the acne side. Everything had my skin glowing, and we're walking billboards of it. But then also seeing people have testimonies of, yo, this changed my life. This gave me confidence. I could talk to girls now because my skin, I don't got the craters on my face. Like that was like, oh, that's why we called it Favor. You know what I mean? And so,
I finally got my own bit of favor.
Exactly. Like a little bit of favor, you know.
Before out, you know.
Yeah, so,
I like it. I like it.
So it's you can get it everywhere. It's on favorskin.com, favorskin.com, favorskin.com. So that was the first one that I said, oh, as entrepreneur and we're successful, oh my God, let's keep going. And then I was like, yo, we're already in the self-care space. And it took a long time because I had to learn the business of how working a skincare line worked. So we did that 2 years, and now we're like, let's work into something else. And then I saw there's a doctor named Dr. Bobby, a black woman who was extremely intelligent and successful already. She had won Shark Tank, and she brought her toothbrush to Shark Tank to get funding and ended up winning, you know, and getting a deal. And it's called Big Mouth. So I was like, oh, okay, it's an electric brush. It has bigger bristles, so like when you brush in, you're covering more space. I was like, this is lit, this is fire. And I was like, oh, and she's a black woman, and she's already successful. Oh, let's partner up. So for me, did the deal with her. So we have a toothbrush now that again is selling and it's moving to a point where people are just like, man, again, like this is the most comfortable I felt with, with brushing my teeth. You know what I mean? Like I can see a difference with how we're using it. So it's Big Mouth as well. So you can get that anywhere, Big Mouth. Wow. Yes, sir.
That's dope.
Yeah.
It's the Dead Sea is an interesting place.
Yeah.
I actually,
have you been?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's you said they come swim, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got a story about that. Like I went there and I'm there like, setting up shop. I'm with a bunch of Russian people.
Yeah.
And they go like when we're on the way to Dead Sea, dude, Aaron's like, Miguel, no splash. And I'm like, I'm a grown ass man. Splash in the water. What is wrong? You know what I mean? So like the whole time it bothered the hell out of me. Like, what do you think? I'm just go in the water and start splashing.
Right.
I get to the water.
Yeah.
Start splashing. But not, because I can't, you're gonna fall. So
you gotta balance yourself.
Yep, and then he goes, because I splash a couple times, the water hits my eye.
Yeah.
And then he goes, Miguel, now you're gonna find why they call it the Dead Sea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, he's like, because now 10 seconds, you're gonna be dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm fine.
Yeah. Oh.
I start hitting that. And I'm like, get me out of here. I had to hold his hand because they got the little fountains outside.
Yeah.
And man, my eyes were burning me.
Yeah,
like,
you float.
Fire.
You literally float. Like you can't. Right. It's the concentration of the minerals and the salt and all that. You really cannot float. Like you can't swim. So you gotta balance out, but you kind of like, it's uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So then you forget, like, okay, let me just. And you're done, bro.
Yeah.
It's painful.
It's funny, like you said, like you try to find ways to kind of.
Yeah, but you whole hand in there already. You know what I'm saying?
It was tough.
And then also, my fault. And then the other thing that we also did, and again, for people, man, if you're ever in a position where you want to invest in things that you genuinely like, that you use. You know what I mean? Like genuine things. So like, wifey's from Tanzania, right? So
I did a project in Tanzania.
Yeah, you've been around
as a kid.
Brother.
No, I did a project on as a kid.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah. So like, project on Tanzania as a kid.
Yeah. You just struck up a memory.
Yeah. So wifey's from Tanzania, and she ended up sending so much money monthly back home using MoneyGram. So it's like, okay, you're just like, babe, we're sending this to, is it okay? I'm like, yeah, pay whatever you want to do. So we started doing that. So her bright ideas, I was like, look, why don't we just reach out to MoneyGram and just see what we could do? Like, just reach out to them, like, and so reached out to MoneyGram, and they were interested in working, and it was like, oh, let's partner up. And so Punch and I got on the phone with them, and, they worked out the business, and it was just like being a partner with people at companies that you genuinely use, and you see, I've been using that for 4 years because of her, and I'm seeing how efficient it is to send money globally and how everything is lit with it. So we were like, let's do partnership with MoneyGram, and it's been an incredible situation as well. So again, just diversifying and moving that way.
Who's doing that? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's a move. That's a real play, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's a real entrepreneur.
Come on.
That's a real African man. That's what it is.
So naturally, as you speak, is that your actual the way you speak?
The way I speak when I do the accent?
No, like when you do the accent, is that how you started off speaking?
Yes, that is how I started off speaking. Because I was spending a lot of time back, and that's fun. I've never actually said this on camera, but I was spending a lot of time back and forth with going back to Nigeria, and being in the States. So I remember my mom was enrolling me in school. She actually told me the story the other day. I forgot. But I was like 4 or 5 years old, and like they were trying to get me into this program. And my mom kept saying, they kept asking me questions, and my mom didn't want me to speak because I was speaking pidgin still. I was still speaking back home accent. Mm-hmm. So they're like, so how does Rotimi feel about da, 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 da? So she'll answer for me. So they were so bad So one time I couldn't stop. I had to use the bathroom. So I was like, Mama, I don't shit now. Mama, I don't shit. So these white women listening to this, Mama, no, go shit now, please. I beg me, please. Can I go shit now? I beg. And so then this is coming out of the mouth of a 5-year-old. So you're like, oh, we don't want him. No, we're gonna pass. So. That's a funny moment you just reminded, because my mom really told me about this about maybe a week ago. But it was, I had to relearn a lot of the English slang and
it's in a weird language.
Yeah, so I had to assimilate back to pure English speaking.
So that was like a audition or like a casting.
So it was like an accelerated program, and they interview you before they let you in. Right. And so they have to ask you basic questions, but they were all just like, why does his mom keep speaking for him? Because I was smart, right? But you're not going to understand that I'm not really cursing. This is how we speak back home. And so,
and then the problem too is now obviously the world is a little more integrated.
Yes,
culture.
Yes.
Like the world as big as it is, we keep building bridges, and with phones, it's actually a lot smaller.
Yeah,
but probably around that time that was going on, my mom used to tell me, because I used to tell her, Mom, how come I don't have an accent? My sister and I used to wonder, like culturally, why don't we speak Chinese, German, all this stuff? Barely speak any patois.
Yeah.
And she said, she's a corporate woman at that. So she said, well, son, in certain times, it doesn't benefit me to be as cultural or as ethnic as we truly are. So she said, I have to learn how to, speak a certain way and appeal to certain people a certain way, or else I won't get certain opportunities.
That's crazy.
And I was like, what does that, why should that, how is that even a thing that even matters? I grew up seeing no color. My sister's his skin color, so things like that didn't really make sense. And then coming up, I started to realize, like, okay, maybe you can't speak with slang all the time. Maybe you should have that extra dialect, kind of, you have to clean it up, or else they won't get to know that you are in fact a genius. You are in fact smart. You are worthy of that position. So just culturally interesting.
Yeah, and we've grown a lot since then. You know what I mean? But
the world, guys are huge, man.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm getting lit now. Like, how you feel about that?
I'm a piano.
Bro, I love it because I saw it happen. Like,
you're part of it.
I'm part of it. Like, let me explain, bro. Like, I literally was on tour with WizKid, in 2011 when he first got to America, and so I saw what this was going to do eventually. We didn't know when it was going to hit, but it was going to hit. Right. So I'm doing records with at the time, the biggest African artist was probably like Banky W. And he was the ringleader of the group. It was a group called EME. So I saw what they did, traveling with them, opening for them, being on the album with them. So I was a part of that first wave of what was happening. Yeah. And so now you fast forward from 2011 to around 2016, you start seeing the difference of, they're accepting this. They're loving
crowd's a little bigger.
Crowd's a little bigger.
They're showing up a little earlier.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And so I was the one going to program directors and explaining to program director that there's a wave coming, and so seeing where it was, and then also having 2 hit records in that space during that time, it was like, oh yeah, this is going to change the world. And, so it was really dope.
Do you think the market now is big enough to just keep, like, say, like you didn't do R&B and you were just doing the Caribbean sound? Like, do you think that it's big enough now to succeed?
What's big enough now?
The sound, like the entire Caribbean sound, like Afrobeats, and like, is it big enough now in the market for people to just come out that way and still be wildly successful like these other artists right now?
Yes, it is, but I think Afrobeats is at a point where we kind of need to get even more creative with it too. You know what I mean? I think we're lit right now, but like any genre of music, it has to evolve. It has to keep growing. It has to, make different energies and different subdivisions of Afrobeats, and that's what we kind of take pride in. With my album, it's basically saying like, oh, okay, this is R&B, but we're gonna add the pop-ish feel, but that's more global, but it's festive, festival music, and then it just feels like audibly people can feel included in it. It's like a whole thing where it just feels bigger, and that was what we wanted to really make. Where, damn, I can hear his record tomorrow, in a movie. I can hear his record Blessed on a soundtrack of this, you know, and so I could hear I Wonder in Lion King, you know, and like, so that was our mindset of like, let's just not think of now, bro. Let's make timeless music that just feels great, you know, and that's what we did. That's our contribution.
Because if you really look at the way that, and congratulations on all the success, by the way. You've done some incredible things.
Thank you, bro.
But when you look at the way, like, you go back to Daddy Yankee.
Yeah.
Right? And how he was big, but then there was like, there inevitably something was coming.
Yeah.
And that something ended up being like Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
Right? Bad Bunny, when you think about like the love that he gets globally, is ridiculous. Like, when you talk about artists like that, the numbers are just, the
crazy.
unity moves is insane.
Absolutely. And again, like when you have artists like that are that global, you got to champion them, you know, but at the same time, Bad Bunny elevated and made it that way. And that's what we were like, okay, let's do the same thing. You know, let's give a different vibe of what this is going to be, because we want the little white girl in Germany love it. We want the little Indian boy. We want the little Asian girl. That's what we wanted. We want everyone to feel connected to the movement, you know, and that's what we did.
The guys I look at for that, you know, prior to you, would be like Pitbull, would be the Akon, Flow Rider, early on Wyclef.
Absolutely.
That whole, because Pitbull's a perfect example. He used to call himself Mr. 305. Which is very limiting. It's a great brand. It's a great label. That's where you from. That's where you represent. He had the cornrows. He was rapping hard lyrics. And then he said, Mr. Worldwide, Mr. International. And then the show started showing that. And he took Flow Rider with him. You know, and this is off the back of Wyclef too, but I'm saying like, not being limited to, man, I'm a Boston dude and I rap Boston and I'm big in Boston. No, the world. And it just the whole perspective.
World, Craig.
So keep going, man. Keep doing what you're doing, bro. We excited to see everything that you got going on, everything you've done so far.
Thank you, brother.
It's dope, man.
Thank you.
It's dope.
Doing all this though, because you got the entrepreneur side, the acting side, the music side. I'd imagine that there's moments where the creativity seems to just run away from you. How do you deal with those blocks in creativity and overcoming it?
Ooh, man, again, I take a second and pray, you know, because I don't know what I'm supposed to learn from that moment. Is this, am I working on something that I shouldn't be working on? Okay, maybe I should just sit down and come back to it. I really have conversations with God, bro, like genuinely. But then at the same time, my family helps me just unblock a lot of things, you know? But then also having a team to be like, yo, I got this. I'm tripping, bro. I can't think of nothing. Do you have any ideas? Oh, that you asked. I have 6, you know? And so when you have these 3-4 ways of getting through a roadblock, it's, you know, it's a blessing. So depending on what is needed, is it prayer? Cool. If it's, let me ask my team, let me ask Punch, let me ask Just, cool. If it's figuring it out, you know, with wifey and the kids, I just need to be a human so I can be creative again. I can learn something from the conversation. Maybe I should travel. It's, you know, those are 4 or 5 ways that I combat that for sure.
That's dope.
Yeah.
You just have so much great product out there. When you're out there performing, what's the song that you love to perform the most? I say that because of this. We went to the J. Cole concert and J. Cole took it all the way back. He's like, you know, people don't appreciate this song so much, but this is my favorite song, and he went into it. What's your favorite song to perform?
I'd say there's a record I got called Love Somebody, right? That I feel is just like so powerful because you can listen to it.
How does the Love Somebody go?
I know it's hard to see just how simple it is until you love somebody.
No, I just wanted to get you to sing.
I got one song going. You know it, right?
That's lit, bro. That's lit, bro. That's lit. That was tough. So, like, for me, I see people genuinely just gravitate to that song and love that song. And so I know that, you know, as any artist or any creative, you in your mirror at the crib practicing. So I'm in the mirror practicing this new album now, and there's certain records on this album that make me feel like how I feel with Love Somebody. You know, so that's how I know a lot of the records now that are about to come out, or that's out now are gonna have that same feeling when I perform. 'Cause I'm already starting to think of what I'm gonna do visually. How can we make this like, you know, like a record like Tomorrow that just I feel is a worldwide record. I'm already dreaming about it. So that is, you know, that is how I know.
Yeah, that's dope. Yeah, I'm so glad I got him to sing. Yeah, that's a major victory right there. So with all this that you're doing, what else do you feel like you need to do?
Sharpen everything I'm doing. Sharpen it. Like get better at everything right now. Don't add anything else. I think the plate is full. I think, you know, make sure that this album, In My Heart, In My Veins, is the #1 album in the world. Make sure that me being on The Shy this season that's coming up, make sure that people love that. Kill every podcast that you sit at and have great conversations with people. Go and kill every show. Be the best dad and be the best businessman. I can't do no more. I just got to get better at all of that, you know. And then also love myself, you know, get better at loving myself, you know what I mean? And so that is all of those things, bro, is just sharpen everything and be a better friend, you know what I mean? And so that's where I'm at.
It's a beautiful thing, you know. Like, it sucks that as men, we really have a difficult time focusing on ourselves. We're always like we're just naturally always trying to protect and build,
and it's provide,
and then like our hurdles come like. We're just learning as men. Yeah. Like we're just getting to the point where it's like, you know, women have, you know, Me Too and they've wanted to be, they wanted to fight for their rights, and they did that so much that men decided like, oh, let's help them out. You know what I mean? And and then it's just like, well, what about me?
Yeah.
Like,
jeez.
We get beat up.
Yeah, bro, we do, man. And I think that's why you gotta have fellowship, you know, like we gotta be each other's, you know, we gotta be each other's union. Like, bro, I ain't got it today, bro. I'm going through this. I'm battling this feeling, bro. I don't know how to handle this relationship with my woman. I don't know. These kids is this. I'm stressed out. How do I get? We gotta start being a lot more vulnerable to trusting sources, you know, as men, because it's too much to hold in, bro. Like it's too much. Like we were raised to the man don't complain, the man don't cry, the man don't. No, we're not robots. We're not a robot. We're not AI. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we literally have feelings. So like being able to say, okay, yo, bro, let's have like a powwow or just conversation of just what are you going through? How are you feeling? Talk to me. How can I help you? What's going on? Yeah. Or even celebrating the wins together. You know, nobody. When you're a good man, bro, you the least celebrated because you doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? That's the true. Nobody. Y'all good. You got food in the. You got everything. You got clothes. You got everything. Oh, okay, y'all good. And it's just okay. That's a lot. You know. So
you get thanks.
Yeah, thanks you. You know, and
that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. You're supposed to do these things. You're a father. You're supposed to be.
You're supposed to do these things. So like we don't get celebrated enough. So we got to do that for each other. It's like, dog, that was dope. How you did that? That's the, you know
what else? As part of that initiative, I stopped letting people lie to me. Like my people. No, I'm good, bro. I'm good, bro. No, you're not, bro. What's up, man?
What's up?
What's good? No, you're not.
Damn, bro, that's a
you know why? One. Because I could tell. Because usually last time you normally call me, you don't sound like da.
Yes.
So, gee, shit, bro, what's up, man?
Yeah,
what's going on?
That's powerful, bro.
Bro, that shit go a long way.
Goes a long way.
Sometimes, you know, and this happens a lot. You wish I'm good, and you kind of like. You ain't gonna ask like it. I didn't say you good.
Yeah.
Like sometimes it's like
you want that.
Ask me again, so I can really tell you, bro, because I'm not okay, you know. And I think that's a big part of it. Stop letting people lie to you.
I love that.
You know what happens? We get called names as men when
he's sweet. He's soft.
No. We get called names as men when we start deciding in relationships and in friendships that. I need this done for me too, right? Like it's like narcissist.
That's a big one.
You know what I mean? It's just like, so you know, your ego.
That's a big one.
Cocky.
That's like, it's like
true.
Ungrateful.
Like I can't want certain things for myself too. As soon as you want to do better, as soon as you want better for yourself, get name called.
Yeah.
And then it's like, as men, we don't realize it, but we're kind of going back into that shell. Like, oh, maybe I ain't doing too. I don't want to do that. I don't want to hurt your feelings. I don't want to do so.
Yeah.
I've been really vocal about like talking to men.
Yeah.
Like, you good, and what you said is perfect. That's the biggest thing is they lie.
They lie.
You know what I mean? You got to have a real
You're programmed
circle.
to lie, bro. You got to have a real circle, like you're saying, a real circle of men that one you feel comfortable that you're not gonna be judged. You know what I mean?
That's
Like you gotta be comfortable that you're not gonna be judged. So it's like, yo, talk to me, my dog. Let me know how you was going on for real. And that goes a long way to be like, yo, how are you? No. How are you? That is powerful. We don't ask for much. You know what I'm saying? It's really simple for us, bro. You know, but at this particular time, you know, we just gotta sometimes do it for each other. You know, and make sure we good.
Facts.
Yeah. But I remember Joyner Lucas is one of my favorite artists.
Yeah, he's lit. Yeah,
and I'd imagine that he came up with that entire idea how to do that because that's just who he is, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But watching that video and seeing you on the other side of that table, that was a huge moment. What was it like working with Joyner?
Joyner's a genius, bro. You know, and so when you're working with geniuses, again, you let the experts be the experts. You know, and so when he promoted that and brought it to me, I was like, man. I said no 3 times. You know, initially because I was like, I don't want to do a video. Like, I don't want to be a video vixen. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I ain't trying to do no video, but then he was like, bro, here's the song. Hear it, bro. Listen. And then he was like, yo. And I love an artist, again, that you bet on yourself. He's like, yo, bro, I'm going to give you this amount of money. Here you go, bro. That's how much I believe this going to win. I said, okay, where are the lines? Give me
a favor,
you want me
bro.
yeah, you know.
I'm going to compensate you, man, but
Exactly.
I want you.
But then I also thought, I'm like, well, this is about 20 pages of lyrics, right? Because everything is so fast that like it's about 12.
You're right.
It's a lot. And it's 6 minutes of, if you watch that video, it's a 6-minute monologue. So I'm like, let me use this as real. So it's like another piece of acting art that people can say, okay, he did this and then he did this because I'm going to body this to the point where it's going to stop the world and everybody going to watch this video. You know what I mean? Yeah. And I knew I was going to do that because I know, one, his lyrics is incredible, and then I knew what I was going to do as a performer. So I was like, let's use this as something that people just say, yo, that was one of the best videos I've seen in the last 5-10 years. And we accomplished that, you know? And I thought we should have been Oscar nominated for that whole composition.
Absolutely,
you know,
yeah.
I feel like it was who else is doing, you know, a 1-man, 2-man, you know, conversation like that. Pause, like, you know, in a video where it's literally just me and him, you know, and so no one else has done that.
Yeah, he's an incredible artist, and I don't know if he's independent still. But
I think he is independent.
So that's usually what happens with the independent artists. They don't get the recognition that they deserve.
Yeah, but he eating good, bro, because he them streams, they streams monthly. He's not complaining. Trust
True,
me.
his fans are fans.
His fans are fans.
Well, I do think Drake's about to get paid. Everybody is going to get everybody paid more if he wins. If he wins, Stro, all right?
Wow. Let's
Hopefully we'll see. You know, we'll see.
Yeah.
They're probably going to shut this podcast down. What'd you just say? You know, Elliot Grange, get this guy out of here. But again, it's really beautiful what you're doing. I brought up Joyner Lucas because Joyner Lucas is also somebody that really speaks on mental health and stuff like that and about men. And it's important that us as men that we could sit down and we could have conversations. Yeah. We could talk to our friends. Do you feel like you have the right people in your circle? Yeah. Are you still building it, or do you have your team is like set?
That's a 2-part question, right? So like, I feel like for my mental health, I feel like I have the right amount of people that I don't need anything else. In terms of a team to work out everything that I would like to happen, oh yeah, we're still building. You know, like we're gonna add more pieces. We're gonna add for the traveling, the touring, the this, the that. We're gonna add more pieces. So that business-wise, yes. In terms of my mental and my core group, I'm phenomenal. Yeah, I'm phenomenal.
Now, a question that we like to ask our guests before they leave, is life is grand. There's so much that if I sat here and told you, how do you feel out of 1 to 10? I don't think you could answer that question correctly. Out of a 1 through 100, Where do you feel like you're at in the scale of life?
In terms of what?
Everything you've done.
Everything I've
family, business, everything that you've got going on. Mm-hmm. Where do you feel like you're at in that race?
I genuinely feel like because I feel like I just now entered the race. I got everything situated. Now the race begins. So I feel like I'm at a 3 right now.
Damn.
Yeah. Because I just now entered the race with everything that I have.
That's dope.
So
That's a dope way to answer it, right?
You know what I mean?
First
So
one
like
that.
you know what I mean? So it's like, oh yeah, we good. Punch, you good. Wifey, you straight. Just, you good. Da 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 da. Okay, let's go. All right, we just stepped in and we just getting started.
Dope.
Yeah.
So what does 100 look like for you?
Oh, 100. That's a great question too. 100 that I've looked at God, bro, and I said, yo, I've used every ounce of my gift and every thought and every possible way of conveying this message, bro. I can't say 5 Grammys and this because I might want 5, but he might have 15 for me. You know what I'm saying? Why shortchange myself? I don't want to say $10 million when I know he could probably get. I'm supposed to be getting 75 to 100. So I can't put it on that. I gotta say I've given everything. My kids is happy. My kids is moving. Wifey's great. My dogs is hungry. My dogs ain't hungry. They got their own millions. You know, like I've been able to give. If we're going for tangible, I was able to raise $50 million for children and at least, you know, so like these type of things. So the music and all that is the vessel, bro. Like it's bigger than that, you know. We're supposed to be changing lives, bro, you know. So what we do is a luxury to create content and use this as a voice for people. So we're already winning, you know.
Dope.
Great.
Well, I appreciate you for coming through, man. And this is definitely something, like you said, you started it, all right? The door's always open. We'd love to have you back.
I'm here.
You know, like all the great music, everything you're doing, anytime you're in Miami or anytime that we can come out to you, we'd love to make it happen.
Yeah, we'll do it again when The Shy comes out. What we doing when the TV show comes out.
Yeah, that'd be dope. Yeah, let's get it. I appreciate you, man.
Another one.
Orlando, sign us out.
Hey.
My dog. Yeah.